What is up, everyone? This is Prometheum giving you my first balance update video ever. Alright, today is April 28th and a new balance patch has been released. It's been a little while. And this was rather unexpected, I'd say. So we're going to go through this pretty much line by line. I did open this up and saw the first balance change, and my reaction was, what? And from that point on, I was like, I have to do a video. So I haven't read beyond the first balance change, but here we go. Blizzard update, April 28th, 2020. First and foremost, we hope everyone is staying safe in these unprecedented times. While we've hunkered down and large-scale live events have been temporarily halted, we've been very fortunate that the community's content creators have stepped up to provide us with a seemingly endless amount of Starcraft. I agree. Later. We're always thankful for your passion and creativity. With that said, we wanted to take the time to provide an update on our current thoughts about the state of the game, as well as our plans for the next balance test mod. Alright, current state of the game, TVZ. Concerns with TVZ in last season's map pool, considering the current maps. Considering the current maps, the matchup looks healthy, both from a gameplay and balance perspective. After last year's big patch, we saw a steep rise in mech strategies followed by a steep decline. The bio is still the most prominent strategy, I'd agree, yeah. A slight resurgence in mech. From the Zerg side, mid-game strategies seem very diverse as well. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, Lingbane Muta, Lingbane Hydra, Swarm Host, Nidus. Yeah. Endgame seems to have improved drastically, with Brood Lord turtling seemingly like a thing of the past. I am like, thank God. Alright, TVP, relatively even. For instance, even though we're seeing fewer games that end abruptly with the 2 base tank pushes, a lot of the mid-game gameplay still centers around the threat of this type of push, which tends to lead to one-dimensional mid-games. Any significant changes we'd want to make to impact this matchup would primarily have the goal of opening it up. Rather try NIG to balance it. ZVP. First, the good news, we're seeing a ton of diversity from both sides in early and mid-game strategy stages of the matchup. From the Protoss side, we're seeing many varied openers and small refinements to those openers. From the Zerg side, we're seeing greater diversity in mid-game unit composition than we've possibly ever seen in the history of Starcraft 2. Sure. Okay. However, we do view this matchup as favoring Zerg, especially in the late game, as evidenced by the lack of late game PvZ in recent months. And after talking to professional level Protoss players, we've identified the most common threads in their complaints about the matchup as a whole. The effectiveness of the Queen in defending early game pressure, sure, it's a good Oracle, anti-Oracle defense, and in general, yeah. The efficiency of the Banelink, both as a combat unit and in harassment role. Yeah, Bane bombs killing your probe line sucks. The inability of clearing creep throughout the mid-late game without necessitating the presence of the entire Protoss army. I wonder how they would fix that. The difficulty of the late game with the focus on risk versus reward of the abduct feedback interaction. What? Alright, TVT and ZVZ. We view both these matchups to be in a good place. Yes, I think TVT is in a good place. Yeah, and PvP. PvP has 2 core issues. The volatility of early game and resulting difficulty of holding a natural expansion. Yes, and the difficulty of holding a third. Yeah, there are no mid and late game PvPs anymore. Everything is if you take a natural expansion, you die. Yeah. Ever since the removal of the mothership core and its replacement with the shield battery, we've run into some stability issues with PvP. From what we gather, the current general understanding of early games seems to be that the proxy robo builds are extremely strong in the matchup, yes, to the point of over-centralizing the metagame. This build is also a large part of why holding a natural expansion is so difficult, and the resulting games seem so volatile. Another prevalent concern of the ability to hold 3 bases. Colossi, when the key heavy hitters in PvP were Colossi and Disruptor, the defender had a significant advantage that they would generally have 1 or 2 additional Colossi and Disruptors in their defense due to travel distance. But now that Zealots and Archons are primary mid-game units, this travel distance is negated, and the defender can't often make up this difference when slightly behind. With all these thoughts in mind, here are some changes we'll be featuring in the next balanced test mod to be potentially added to the live game in a future patch. Okay, so these are not permanent changes. These are just changes we can play on a version of the game using the balanced test mod. Here we go. Terran. Widowmine. Drilling Claws upgrade no longer grants Widowmine's invisibility. Instead, the mere existence of an armory will grant Widowmine's invisibility. That is awesome. So you don't no longer have to upgrade it in the tech lab on the factory. The red laser attachment for Widowmines will now communicate the existence of an armory instead of the existence of the Drilling Claws upgrade. Okay, cool. Terran players often talk about feeling economically behind, especially in TvP matchup. Yes. While we are open to making changes to a Terran economy, a blanket buff is not something we're currently looking at, considering the state of TvZ as well as planned changes for Zerg. Though TvP economy is a complicated issue, we believe the primary reason for Terrans feeling behind in this matchup are changes made in the transition from Heart of the Swarm to Legacy of the Void. Yeah, Chrono Boost. Some key ones include changes to Chrono Boost mules and Widow Mines revealing themselves after detonating, thus reducing the importance of early game detection, which allows Protoss players to take a third earlier more easily. Sure. With that line of thinking and TvP in mind, we're looking to make this change for the following reasons. To encourage more dynamic gameplay in TvP. First, we believe Widow Mines naturally lend themselves to more multi-pronged tactics and drop play over their siege tank counterparts. In addition, because of the increased strain placed on observer placement, we believe this change will create more openings for Terrans to drop in general. So this is the big one right here. To put indirect economic pressure on Protoss by increasing the number of potential Terran openers and putting strain on their defenses across multiple bases. Okay. So yeah, Protoss was able to get their economy going because there was no real quick threat. But Widow Mines are the answer to that. So instead of the Protoss economy getting crazy, they'll need to get a forge and get cannons, which will hurt their economy indirectly. I get this. This is good. And this will help transition to 2-2 infantry upgrades. Because the Protoss army could just economically explode into the mid-game because there is no threat, no direct threat to them. And this would make Widow Mines that direct threat. I get it. Cool. Zerg, Queen. Anti-air weapon range decreased from 8 to 7. Okay. Both Liberators and ranged upgraded Liberators were concerned in early game. The biggest concern is how instrumental large numbers of Queens typically are at dealing with battlecruiser openers, which did not exist in the past. Yeah. However, if this becomes an issue, our current thinking is we'd prefer to address it from the battlecruiser side than the queen side. Okay. Baneling. Central fugal hooks no longer grants banelings +5 hit points. And the cost is decreased. What? Baneling buff. Sort of. Alright, banelings originally gained +5 hit points at a time where Zergs were struggling in the mid-game. Fast forward to today, where the most common piece of feedback we receive from both Terran and Protoss players is the strength of the baneling in a variety of roles. Difficulty of holding a 4th base against a 3-base Terran bio push with this change. Okay. I could see this, I guess. I don't think it'll change things too much. Alright, Infester. I saw this one coming. Microbial Shroud has not been cast in a pro game ever, I don't think. Microbial Shroud, which is a new ability, no longer requires an upgrade. So Infestors will have that from the beginning, and we'll see this in ZVP matchups where the Protoss goes Carriers, Tempest, Void Rays. In general, when trying to craft novel abilities, we try to tune them towards being powerful. However, the perception of Zerg last year, we tried to be more careful. This change is one further step we'd like to take towards ungating the power behind Microbial Shroud. Creep Tumor is no longer armored. Ooh, that's really good. Light. Oh, that's really, really good. Okay, so Hellions will do more damage to Creep Tumors. Good. This experimental change is intended to promote interactivity with Creep. It targets Adepts, Oracles, and Hellions, and puts greater importance on the Zerg to defend their Creep Tumors. Yeah, no more free vision, you fucks. This is one of the changes we're more interested in feedback for, and we're especially curious as to how much it would impact the creep clearing minigame of Terran and Protoss. Alright, Protoss. Nexus, new ability. What is this? Battery Overcharge. Effect overcharges a target shield battery, increasing its shield restoration rate by 100% and causing it to regenerate 100 energy in over 21 seconds. Okay. Huh. So you need shield batteries near your Nexus, and it will increase the shield battery restoration. So this is just a anti-Zergling bust for Protoss. Wow, okay. Defender's advantage. Oh no, it's a PvP. Okay, it's a PvP buff. Sure. Okay. The initial numbers for this ability were specifically designed with PvP and proxy robotics builds in mind. As a testament to the strength of this ability, a Stalker being restored by an overcharged battery will often survive over 7 volleys from a typical 4 Stalker 1 Immortal poke off of a proxy robo build. Cool. So this allows a defending player with 2 Nexuses to leverage their Nexus energy as a key resource to defend against aggressive attacks. Yeah, PvP was a shit show. It is a shit show. Wow, okay. Against typical 2 or 3 base aggression, I feel like they could still target the pylons and depower any shield battery that gets this battery overcharge. We'll see what happens. Okay, powerful form of Defender's advantage, effectively quadrupling the effectiveness of a shield battery until you kill the pylon, allowing it to restore 1,200 shields. Wow. Alright, bursting down the targeted shield battery with corrosive biles, banelings, or simple focus fire. Sieging the Protoss base with tanks, lurkers, or disruptors. Backing off until the... So these are counter shield overcharge strategies. Okay. At the same time, we also expect effective use of this ability, especially against Zerg all-ins, typical mid-game Zerg attacks, and Terran attacks when tanks and ghosts aren't involved. Pylon overcharge, yeah. Pylon overcharge is not the same thing at all. You will not be able to offensively battery overcharge rush your opponents. If you build a Nexus, a proxy Nexus, you will. It would be very expensive though. Oracle. Revelation energy cost decrease from 50 to 25. I do not love that. Revelation cooldown increase from 2 seconds to 10 seconds. That won't matter. And duration decrease from 30 seconds to 50 seconds. I like that. That's good. Because if an Oracle reveals your army, he can see where he's going for 30 seconds. That's way too long. 15's good. But then he can just hit you again with another revelation. So I don't like that. This redesign is intended to grant it improved utility for clearing creep tumors. There are many subtle implications with this redesign, but one we'll be looking out for is how much more effective Revelation will be at detecting Widow Mines, Banshees, and Dark Templar Lurkers. This change also interacts directly with our proposed Widow Mine changes, and we're hoping the net result falls in favor of the Widow Mine. Me too. I hope that happens. Finally, we'll be flagging this change as another one we're especially looking for feedback on, and likely tweak before it hits live. Feedback range increased from 9 to 10. Professional level Protoss players and why they're reluctant to go into late game. The most common response is that the feedback abduct interaction usually favors Zerg. We believe increasing feedback range to 10 is the healthiest way to balance out this interaction. One additional range increase is going to change this game. That's crazy. Viper's abduct range is 9. In the past, we would have been cautious about bringing feedback range closer to EMP round range. Yeah, that's right. EMPs should outrange feedback. But feedback is instant and EMP is a projectile. But with the new enhanced shockwaves upgrade, okay, fine. When this post goes live, the balance test mod will have been updated with these changes. We look forward to hearing your thoughts and watching the resulting games that are played. As always, keep in mind that these are changes subject to change before they hit the ladder. Alright, there you go. So in summary, we have Widow Mines are invisible as soon as you build an armory. So build an armory and your Widow Mines are invisible. That'll be awesome. Awesome. Can't wait. Queen's anti-air weapon range decreased 1. Baneling's Baneling speed no longer gives them +5, and Baneling's speed is decreased by 30%. Okay. Microbial Shroud, we probably still won't see that ever again. Creep tumors can be killed by Hellions and Adepts and things quicker. Good. That's really good. Whatever. PvP battery overcharge, I get it. Okay, build shield batteries in PvP and you'll be okay. And then no longer do the proxy robo build, basically, is the summary there. Oracles essentially get a buff, I think. I think they get a buff. We'll see. And then the High Templar, feedback range increased from 9 to 10. Alright, well, there's your balance update. This is, again, on the balance test mod version of ladder, and not live on the ladder yet. But it is cool to see that they are making some changes and they're looking at changes. They probably wouldn't put this out to ladder until the current GSL season finishes up, which should be done by the end of May, if not sooner. I'm not quite sure when. Grandmaster leaderboards, esports. Maybe they have it here. GSL? Hello? Ooh, there's a GSL Super Tournament. Oh no, that already was. What? I don't know what's going on. Upcoming event, see full schedule. GSL Super Tournament. This is 2019. Come on, guys. This is stupid. Come on, Blizzard. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, look forward to the balance test mod. I might jump on there and give it a try, especially with the Widowmine thing. But, yeah, we'll see you on later. Bye-bye.